Hello, hello. I think I'm done with the book pretty much. I just have to proofread it. The last few nights I've been having dreams about numbers and the World Cup and almost anxiety to get it done. Um, and I believe I pretty much got it done. Um, I just have to proofread it multiple times, play around with the layout a little bit, add a few images, and I'm good to go. But my word, I was supposed to be taking a break this week. I have a little bit from Coding Sports, but I haven't really taken a break. I've been doing 9, 10, 11 hours on the book. I went for dinner with Kenya yesterday. She said, "Are you going to come back to my apartment?" I said, "I can't." I said, "Why not?" I said, I've got to do this book. I have to get this book done. Please let me get." And she went, "Okay, get it done. You can do it." And I thought I'd have it all done by today, just working nonstop. That's all I've pretty much done. But it's still not 100% done. I have to go over it, guys. So, hello, Sidemen. I'm missing my family off my website. I've not been posting as often, or barely any, to be honest. Just the odd post here and there because I informed everybody I was taking a break. A lot of people in the community advised me to take a break. I promised my mum and my family and my close friends I'd take a break because I've just been going non-stop, but it's just hard for me to take breaks. I'm almost addicted to working. Hello, Divine. Nothing but love for you. I really appreciate you, and I will go get that coffee later from the tip that you sent me, and I can't wait for you to read the book. Sideman, I'm good. I'm just tired. Well, 14 in the live, 4 likes, my birthday and my dad's birthday. You'll see how big 144 is with Argentina winning the World Cup. How big that number is in general. So what I've done within the book is I've given you a really solid breakdown of what I believe are the most sacred, important numbers in the world. I've given you a breakdown of the power of numbers and why they're powerful, not just saying it. And then synced up those numbers with what happened in the World Cup so you can see the clear connections, especially biblically, with what played out at the World Cup. I'm not just throwing out codes for the sake of throwing out codes. This is really special. This is out of the 2.5 to 3 years of doing this work, this is the best thing that I've done, without a shadow of a doubt. But my word, it's exhausting. It's exhausting just typing all day, staring at a screen, just playing around with numbers and doing so much research, historical research, checking like so many World Cups and the history of the World Cups and how many players have been sent off and how many people have been carded, how many goals have been scored, who's won the most World Cups. So within the book, if you are a football fan, just a football fan, you're still not completely open to geometry or the possibility that professional sports are coded, you will still love the book for the history that I've given you of the World Cup, but you'll also get a real detailed insight into what happened at this World Cup. You're going to be able to relate to it. So the connections I've made with Maradona and Messi and Aguero are going to blow your mind. The comparisons with Pele and Mbappe. See, Mbappe got a winning goal today for PSG after 96 minutes. 96 minutes. So Marquinhos opened the scoring after 14 minutes. It looked like PSG were going to cruise. And then Marquinhos did an own goal after 51 minutes. You'll see how 51's big with Argentina as well. That's why they have a plus 51 all-time goal difference in the World Cup. So it was 1-1 up until the 96th minute where Kylian Mbappe, after 96 minutes, got the winning goal. There was someone in my community called Mick who took PSG at plus 900 in play because they were down to 10 men. Neymar got sent off after 62 minutes. Queen equals 62. She was coronated in 1953 on 6-2. 1953 is the 60-second triangular number. I saw something in play that looked like, geez, is this what they're doing here? They might be playing out a draw. But I posted, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 days ago, that PSG have this huge riddle with Argentina. And Man City, I did a riddle as well for them to get to 35 points. So if you are in this community and you like to code, wow, look at that 26 in the live, 6 likes, 266 for Francis, the 266 Pope, the Argentinian. So many 266s in my book, 266s that I didn't know until I wrote this book. So I think from now until the end of the season, I was using Queen numbers everywhere. Obviously, they're still relevant. But it looks like the numbers you want to look out for now are any numbers connected to Argentina, Maradona, Messi, and JFK. JFK is so connected to it all, guys. It's because Argentina and France both began their 2022 FIFA World Cup campaigns on the anniversary of JFK's assassination. All right, November the 22nd. And obviously 11 plus 22 is 33, like the World Cup final finished 3-3, and Argentina have now won 3 World Cup finals and lost 3 World Cup finals, and Sergio Aguero retired at age 33. So JFK was the 35th president of the US, and Messi just won the World Cup at age 35, and Argentina won the penalty shootout against France, finished 4-2. And it was the 35th all-time penalty shootout in the history of the World Cup. So when I saw Man City could get their 11th win, stay on 2 draws, and stay on 2 losses, like 11-22, which is the date JFK was assassinated and when Argentina and France began their World Cup campaigns, I was like, that's perfect. And they won 3-1, and obviously the beast Haaland, I have him for the Golden Boot before the season began when he was 4-1. It's going to take an injury for him not to get that. I hope people in my community did get on things like that I post. Did it at the beginning. So then I saw PSG. They had no, I posted a code for PSG, but it was absolutely not for PSG, to bet on the money line. They were literally I don't even know what they were, 1 to 20. I was just showing the numbers. I was like, this is going to be so interesting if this is what happens. And if this does happen, keep an eye on these numbers with Argentina for the rest of the season. Because I'm always looking to the future with stuff like this. So PSG won 2-1. We know how big 21 is. All right? Especially with the Jesuits. And we know the Jesuit order, the Society of Jesus, were founded in Paris, France in 1540. So if you go to the standings, I saw straight away that if PSG won, they get their 14th win, stay on 2 draws, and stay on 0 losses, like 14-20. And France, their all-time World Cup record, guys, they've drawn 14 World Cup games and lost 20. 14-20. Look at the league now, PSG, League One. All right? And I was like, that 14-20, are they going to do that? But then in play, I was like, oh, no way. They're not going to do this. I didn't catch this at all. Are they really going to have them stay on 13 wins and get their 3rd draw like Francis became the Pope on 13-3? But the 14-20, I was like, it's still PSG. It's still PSG. They can score at any point, especially in this league. And Mbappe after 96 minutes for the Queen. Just remember, Messi came into the World Cup final with 96 all-time goals for Argentina. He now has 98, and that's when the Queen died, 9-8. So all her numbers were extremely relevant. Extremely relevant. And so that's what happened with PSG. And the crazy thing is, guys, is this. Told you how connected Aguero was to this World Cup. I told you that over a year ago. And he played at Man City for 10 years. And he signed for 35 million. And PSG, all right, they've conceded 10 in the league. And the goal difference is plus 35. That 35 again, like Messi won the World Cup at age 35 by winning the 35th all-time penalty shootout of the World Cup. And I also saw if PSG won, they would go on 44 points. Super Bowl 56 was on the 44th day of the year, and Argentina won the World Cup final exactly 44 weeks after Super Bowl 56. Argentina are now 7-8 in penalty shootouts at the World Cup. 7 times 8 is 56. And the first time they won the World Cup was in 78, which is the year that Scaloni, their manager, was born, and the year Kobe Bryant was born. And Kobe Bryant is very relevant to this World Cup. You'll see how everything's coded, because the World Cup began with 41 days left in the year, and 13 days left in the year was the final. And obviously he died at age 41 with his 13-year-old daughter. 41's the 13th prime. That's why Messi now has 13 all-time World Cup goals. It is absolutely crazy. So Argentina won their first ever World Cup final 44 years ago. And PSG, in the game after Messi wins the World Cup, they get to 44 points. The goal scorers in the World Cup final were Messi, who plays for PSG, Di Maria, who played at PSG with Messi, and Mbappe, who's obviously at PSG, who got the winning goal today after 96 minutes. So he got his little crowning moment. People like Mbappe, they'll still reward him if he doesn't lift the trophy. They'll give him the golden boot or have him score a hat-trick, the first player since 1966 to score in a World Cup final. A hat-trick since Jeff Hurst in 66. Both number 10. You'll see how big the number 10 is within my World Cup book, just within the whole reality. But obviously number 10 is a huge number in football. Think of Pele, think of Messi, think of Maradona, think of Zidane, think of these top stars who wear the number 10 jersey. The last 3 Champions League finals have all finished 1-0, like 10. I have been talking about 10 for close to 2 years in regards to Satan. That's why I predicted Eric Ten Hag would take over at the Red Devils when he was 40-1 to do it. So I'm at a point, I've told you, with the coding and stuff, I just want to inspire people. This book's to inspire people, to help them see through the illusion. It's not, obviously this World Cup book is not going to win you money, but knowledge is so powerful, guys. And if there is a World Cup in 2026, you won't watch it the same way once you've read my book. And for $7, for what I've done, over 500 hours or more on the book. And it's almost taken me 3 years to get to this level of acquiring this knowledge as well. So I've put my health on the line for this book, my happiness somewhat, been turning down going to the beach, hanging out with Kenya, whatever it may be, going to parties to focus on the book. I know how people's brains work. If I keep delaying this book, but okay, whatever, Argentina won the World Cup, whatever. Because people just move on from day to day. There's a new distraction for them, or there's something else for them to talk about. It's the way the system's designed. So I want this out absolutely by tomorrow. I don't want to be releasing it in 2023. Well, can you just message me? Give me a second. Let me just tell her. Hello, beautiful. I'm just doing a live stream now. I'm almost done with the book. But I have to make a few edits, add some images and mess around with the layout. But I'll drop you a message once I'm done, okay? Hope you will. So, all right, let me look at your comments before I go into everything. Okay, let's have a look what we've got here. If you don't know, I carry the passport and ready to use it, mate. Can't wait for the book, but get that drink, headers. Yeah, so Divine has a little story with the passport. When I was in England last time, Divine and my boy Flinny, who took me to the airport, amazing guy. Much love, Flinny, if you're watching. You're going to love this World Cup book because I know you have a lot of knowledge of football and the World Cup. She went to Heathrow with me and she had a passport in a bra. I'm like, what, is she coming with me? Like, literally carries a passport around with her. I was like, geez. And then she was trying to get in my suitcase. But yeah, I'll go for a drink later. I definitely need one. I'm not having alcohol. Told myself I'm not going to have alcohol for a while. Griezmann is an invert. Griezmann has 3 children who were all born on April the 8th. 4-8. All right, and they're not twins or triplets. It's just a joke. They're either lying or those kids are not his. I don't think a lot of these kids belong to the actual parents, like Neymar's kid, little white kid with blonde hair. It's almost laughable. Why don't you use Gumroad to sell the book? I don't know. I don't know. I just want to keep it simple. I want to send out the PDF. People want to print it. I'm going to print it off. It's quite a lot of pages, though, guys. It's over 400. It's over 400 pages. Going back to Griezmann with the 4-8, the upcoming World Cup, supposedly there's going to be 48 teams for the first time. It's just a clear ritual why they do it. Have you made Super Bowl prediction yet? I'm a sub on your site, but didn't see it. I did, Jake, ages ago, and it could be absolutely insane if it comes about, but I have done it. Email me and I'll tell you where to find it. It's on the website. I believe if the team make the playoffs, that they will be winning it, but there's still a bit of drama in order for them to make it. They have to win the next 2 games, and even then they might not make it. But if they don't make it, hopefully they do. If they don't, I'll look deep into the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 55, I predicted Brady and the Bucs over the Chiefs before the season began. I did really, really well in the playoffs last year in the NFL. And in the Super Bowl 56, I said Odell Beckham first touchdown. I predicted the exact score, and I said the Rams would win. So I ain't perfect at all of this, but I'm good. I almost want the regular season to be over so I can look into the playoffs. I don't want to be finding all these amazing numbers for a team that still haven't made the playoffs, if you know what I mean. You've got to be a bit smart with that. But thank you, Jake, for being on the website. I'm sure I haven't really checked the numbers of my website because I've been so focused on the book. I don't know if people have been signing up or if they've left. I don't know. I'm very easy with that at this point. When people sign up, I'm very grateful. When they leave, I understand for whatever reason. I used to ask people, hey guys, is there any reason why you left? A lot of the times they would say, oh, I can't afford it, or it's a bit too much for me, or whatever it may be. Sometimes they ignore me. Now I don't. If people go, they go. If they sign up, they sign up. I definitely believe I provide a service that's truly worthy of the amount that I charge. So I'm very easy with it now. I'm not all better. No, I've been struggling with my sleep, but I think that again is the book. I'm not a guy who usually suffers from anxiety or stress, but just when you're staring at a screen and you're just constantly doing that, my brain wasn't able to shut off. So I'm supposed to be on a break, but now I feel like I need a break from this book, but I can't. San Francisco 49ers have fantastic numbers. They do. That wasn't my original pick, but I do like their numbers because the Church of Satan was founded in San Francisco. I think that Golden Gate Bridge is coming down soon. They have these crazy numbers with the Warriors, who I had to win the NBA last year. So, yeah, keep an eye on the 49ers. There is a 666 riddle for them, a big one. Hello, DJ Boss Bongo. That's a fantastic name. Happy Face Man is in the house, baby. In the house. PSG won last second. Thought they would. The great coding. Well, thank you. Sometimes, like, that PSG game didn't need a massive code. Neither did the Man City Leeds one. But there wasn't much value in either. Man City took a 2-0 lead, didn't they? And then a 3-0 lead, I think. Haaland scored 2. I think Leeds got a consolation. But again, I've told a few people in my community now, I will post codes that I find extremely interesting, because we know what can play out. Again, PSG, there'll be people in the community that said, not to me, but probably to themselves, what's he posting a code for PSG for? There's absolutely no value. What's even the point? That mindset is where you probably don't belong on my website, because I'm showing you just how coded the world is and how it's all connected. And you could have got them, I think they went to plus 1,600 in play. I just know one guy got on plus 900 because of my code. But But if you just look at it for the knowledge, then the other stuff's going to come. You can't just start looking at like the money line, or this code means nothing. These numbers are insignificant because it's a big favor. No. Learn, if you gamble, learn how it really works and how many opportunities you get in play over the year. Okay, so just be aware of that going forward. I'm posting codes to get you better at seeing through the illusion of the world. And if it wins you money, great. If you're not winning more than $10 from my picks at the end of the month, I have no idea what you're doing. I just don't with my hit rate. So I don't have to worry about that. As long as people are making more than the $10 they're investing in me, they can't say one word to me. Not one word. Do we need a new Super Bowl 57 code? No. The only time we need a new Super Bowl 57 code is if the team that I coded to win it go out. As of now, they still have a shot. They've got to win out. If they do, it'll be great with the code that I've done. If they lose their next game and they're gone, then we need a new code, don't we? As of now, they still have a shot. Odds-wise, it looks iffy for them, but again, we know that odds can be a bit of a joke. I'm paying extra when the book comes out. Thank you so much, Joe. I'm going to put all the money that I make from the book towards hopefully going to England in April for my dad's birthday and my sister's birthday. I'm not going to get rich from this book. I know pretty much the only people who are going to buy it are people in the community who really love my work. But I do sometimes question how I have 7,500 subs on YouTube. And not only, still a lot, like 300 plus on my website, and probably only about maybe 1,000 are going to get the book. It's strange because it's such profound knowledge, guys. It really is. But I'm really excited for you to read it for those who are really intrigued in this work. It is really good, guys. I've told you my Queen book, I absolutely loved it, but it was about one person. It was about Queen Elizabeth. This is about the World Cup, the history of the World Cup, a competition that's been going on 92 years since 1930. When the founder of the Church of Satan was born. That can't be a coincidence. It can't be. Why not have a beer, Adam? I've just not been feeling that good, and I feel like a beer will mess up my immune system even more. I want to play high-level soccer. It's brought me happiness, but it's really unmotivating to hear coding information. It's tough, mate. Football is a beautiful game, an incredible game. You can still play at a high level, semi-pro, like where I played. Obviously, I was at Bradford City when I was younger, professional club. But there's really high, depending on where you are in the world, what nation you are, there's a lot of high level, high standard football that you can play and make a bit of money, and it's organic. I'm talking about the World Cup. You ain't ever playing in the World Cup, mate. None of us will. None of us who don't give ourselves to Satan or have Masonic bloodlines or have this occult knowledge are going to ever be in a World Cup. You might get it to League One or League Two where you're not really making that much impact on the world. Like how many people in New Zealand, Australia, India, France, Norway, Italy, Sweden can name more than 3 League Two players? Could tell you a load of Premier League players or Serie A players, La Liga players, but League One, League Two, that's still a great level, playing in front of fans. But even that, like the chances of you getting at that level is so difficult with the amount of people that play football. Yeah, my sister's birthday is 4/20, just like Hitler's birthday. She's nothing like Hitler. My sister's amazing. When does the book come out? Tomorrow. Adam, what's your opinion on those who bet professionally as a career? Toxic. I do believe there's people who can make a living out of it. I did. There's definitely people who can make a living out of it, but it is a career. And I think it's just like stocks and shares. People have done well in it and made a living out of it. But it's volatile. Same with crypto, it's volatile. I think eventually, when it comes to making a career out of gambling, I don't think people do it longer than a few years. It just needs one big mistake. And to actually win money off gambling, I've told you, I think the only way you truly win money off gambling as a regular person like you or I is betting in play and being aware of the code. There'll be people making professional gamblers who, I don't know, they might have inside knowledge of what's about to go down, but I don't think there's many, mate, who are professional gamblers. And to be a professional gambler, I think you have to be rich. I think to get rich from gambling, you have to already be rich. I've said this to multiple people now, and they don't like me saying it, but I think it's just legit. Is if you're working a 9 to 5 job and you're making, say you're in England and you're making 20 grand a year, okay? And you've just got enough money to pay for your bills and maybe go out that Friday night where you have a few beers with your friend or your family, right? How are you going to get rich from gambling when you have next to no extra money or savings? How are you going to get rich from it? To get rich, the people say, can I get rich from signing up to your website? Number one, the question's very naive because you're paying me $10 a month. If I was saying, hey, sign up for 5 grand a month, then maybe I could help you get somewhat rich. Depends on what you define rich as. But when people say, hey, can I get rich if I sign up to your website? You're paying me $10. No, you won't get rich. And a rich person or somebody who has a lot of money wouldn't be asking those types of questions. So I've told you with gambling, it should just be a bit of fun on the side. The knowledge should be number one. The knowledge should be number one. And then if you want to have a little flutter here and there and it doesn't consume your energy, you can do that. But I just don't want people coming to my website who did what I did for 7-8 months, where your whole life becomes about professional sports, gambling and winning money. Because even when you win it all like I did, it's not rewarding long term. It's not worth it. So, but again, it's up to you what you do. How many people would watch these sports games if there was no gambling involved? How many of you guys, Americans in the chat, who watch the NFL on Sundays or Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, how many of you would watch it if there were no gambling involved or no fantasy football? Would you watch it? Would you even care? Probably wouldn't unless it was your team. You wouldn't watch. People invest in it because they're investing money in it. And usually where you invest your money, you invest your energy. Raiders and Packers are the only teams that need to win 2 more games to clinch a playoff spot. Yeah. Packers notoriously are the best team in December in the NFL historically. That's why they've been winning all these games. I figured that out with my research at the beginning with the Packers. But the next game it's going to be January, isn't it? But for whatever reason, they'll say it's maybe the weather, because in Wisconsin it's really cold, but they have the best record in December in the NFL throughout the history. What about Buffalo with the deaths? Buffalo, again, I've got to be careful here because it can bite me sometimes. I've told you this. Buffalo's riddle seems too perfect. So did Argentina's when I said it a year and a half ago. It gradually got, I was like, geez, my riddle's playing out exactly as I said it was. Is Satan playing with me? That's me being very, what's the word? Egotistical, feeling like it was all about me. I was like, this code's too good. Right? It's exactly playing out the way I said it was going to. So the Bulls have this amazing riddle, obviously connected to the Queen as well. You've got the Queen City of Buffalo. You've got the Buffalo shootings. They do have an amazing riddle, and the odds suggest that they'll go far. And they've got a really good riddle with Josh Allen. But there's still, I've got the team that I really like, which I did weeks before the season began. They're still in it. But they're literally one game away from not being in it. They pretty much, the next 2 games are basically playoff games. If they don't win them both, they're done. Why was Haaland not playing in the World Cup? Because Norway didn't qualify. They don't often qualify. The World Cup's not necessarily the best players in the world, because you get nations from Asia, Africa, Europe, North America. Some top players like George Best, arguably one of the most talented footballers ever, looking at the highlights, he never played in a World Cup because he was from Northern Ireland. Ryan Giggs was a talented player. Not sure Wales ever played in a World Cup with him. They didn't. Wales qualified for the first World Cup in 58 years with Gareth Bale, who did nothing in that World Cup. I think he actually scored against the US, but he only had 7 touches against England and got taken off at halftime. When I saw that, I was like, this pretty much guarantees England are getting to 7 points then. You've got to see things like that. You really do. Get your health check, bro. My mate just died on his 31st birthday. I avoid the doctors, to be honest with you. There were once, the most recent time I went there, I went for a checkup. You know, you get your checkup like once a year. Some people do it twice a year. Said everything was good, but we suggest that you get this. I said, I'm not asking for that. Like, why are you bringing? I remember kicking off. I kicked off and stormed out of the hospital. It's like, why are you even bringing this up? I've come for my checkup. You've told me I'm fine. Let me go. That's the problem with a lot of these doctors. I'm telling you, they're salesmen. They're salesmen. They'll get told they'll get a bonus for every, I don't know, 5 people a day that they vaccinate or whatever. Hello, K-Caps International Limited. Much love to you. You're struggling with sleep as well. I think a lot of people are. There's Gabriel. I play as the way if you are betting odds at the beginning mean absolutely nothing. Yeah. The only way they mean something for me in general is, I don't know, like a quarter of the way into the game, you start seeing them really just change. If the odds like, it varies. It varies. You've got to have a real talent for reading odds. You have to have a real talent for reading odds. So if a big favorite goes down 1-0 early and they're still big favorites to win it, they pretty much win it. I said to my mate yesterday or the day before, Javi, Arsenal were playing West Ham, and he had a 14 parlay. I don't know why people do parlays, but I guess it's because they bet small amounts to try and win a large amount, and they often get let down by one team. So he won 3 out of 3 games, and then he had West Ham to shock Arsenal. And Arsenal went down 1-0. Ben Rama scored after 27 minutes. So I messaged him as a good friend. I said, hey, mate, just cash out now. Take the money. All right? Because Arsenal will probably come back into it. And he was like, let me check. Cheers, mate. He checked, and the cash out was like next to nothing. 3 of his games hit. And then he's got 1 game left, which is West Ham versus Arsenal. West Ham have a lead after like 35 minutes when he checked his cash out. He said, they're barely offering me anything. I said, is there any way you can cover on Arsenal? Double chance? He said, no, because Arsenal are still joint favourites to win the game. I said, they're winning the game then. He said, really? I said, yeah. They're winning the game. The cash out has just told you right there that West Ham are not winning. They're not winning by the cash out they're offering you. It'll probably mean Arsenal wins. And they came back, didn't they, and beat them 3-1. So the line can often tell you, not always, but it can often tell you where the game's going to go. But you have to be observant. So you have to give your energy to the game. That's the issue. That's why I won't do it anymore. When people ask me, why don't you do it? You'd have so much money. because I know I'd have to give myself to it again. And I think Satan's okay with me winning money from gambling. He wants my energy. Money's just an illusion. He wants my energy. So I won't give him it. Sometimes I'll have a little look, you know what I mean, to check what's playing out, maybe help my community, or just out of interest, or maybe I'm actually bored, which is rare for me. So I'll have a little look. Wait, all right. It's like, again, another friend messaged me. I was out for dinner with Kenya, and the Bucks were playing. I can't remember who they were playing. Were they playing the Falcons? I can't remember. But the Bucks were playing, and they were down pretty bad late. And I looked at the odds, and I saw the score. I said, Brady's going to win this. He said, really? Shall I get on him? I said, just from what I'm seeing right now, Brady's coming back and he's winning this. And the guy won off. He went, okay, you said it, illusion. I went, listen, I don't know. Looking at this line, they're coming back. I think they were plus 275 when they should have been about plus 700 or more. And they were plus 275 to win. When you're talking about something like the Joey Williams is in the house. Him and I have not been feeling well recently. How's Gintada, Joey? I hope she's better. No, Gabriel Alonga. It's another Gabriel who did my website. Amazing guy. What I'm saying is like something like the NFL, practically any sport, but the NFL, you're like, wait, there's only 3 minutes left. How are they going to come back from 10 points down? What it needs is a 50-yard throw, 20-yard rush, another 20-yard rush or whatever, touchdown. It's a 3-point game. Boom. The other team get the ball back with 2 minutes and 25 seconds left. All right. Somehow the Bucks become this unbelievable defensive team. 4 and out. Boom. They get the ball back. Dodgy kick from the kicker from the opponent. Then they're in great territory. Few passes. They're in field goal range. Boom. Last second, hit a field goal, goes to overtime, they win. It's just so easy. You see it. Look what PSG just did. 96-minute winning penalty. These human beings, these icons, these stars are not dictating these outcomes. You'll see that in my book as well. It's connected to Baal, the demon Baal, and the Baphomet. That's behind all of this. Do you know Maradona, Messi, and Aguero have all scored with their hand in their career? There's no way they've rehearsed that so perfectly, all 3 of them. And you know Maradona, all right, his daughter married Aguero, had a kid with Aguero, and Aguero's kid, Messi's the godfather. And they've all scored with the hand. There's not many pro footballers that have scored with a hand. All 3 of them have. All 3 of them have. Hey, Javi. When it comes to the Happy New Year, I don't celebrate that. And in regards to Christmas, same thing. I will say much love to you, but I'll never, ever say, you know what, in regards to Christmas. But I appreciate it. I know you're being nice by saying that. Someone went sick at me today saying, what the fuck are you going on about Liverpool equals 124? And she was headshot 124 days after Olivia. Yeah, well, Chris, you have to understand. All right, Chris, when did you learn this knowledge? Yeah, Hanukkah, well, it began on the World Cup final, didn't it? The 18th, and it went on to the 26th. 8 days is Hanukkah for another 8. But how long, Chris? Much love to you. When did you learn this knowledge? Hey, Alto, Faisy, Agent D, be a guy. Hope you well. 2018. Okay, that's longer than me. I learned this in 2020, but really started learning it 2021. If somebody came up to me in 2019, we'll say, before PSG was 10-1, Revelation, did you get them? Did you get on them just out of interest? Because one guy did, because he messaged me. Anyways, if somebody came up to me in 2019, oh, you don't bet, good lad. Somebody came up to me in 2019 and said Liverpool equals 124, and she was headshot 124 days after Olivia Pratt-Corbell was shot. Somebody came up to me in 2019 and said that, right? I would say, what? First of all, I'd say, what do you mean 124 equals 124? What are you talking about? Then I would be like, who's Olivia Corbell? Who's that? So I don't really pay attention to the news. I never did. Who's that? So we have to understand that. We have to be aware of that. People on my website, if I say Liverpool equals 124, they all know what I'm talking about. But if you come up to a random person or a family member or a friend or a work colleague and you start saying this equals that and that's the square root and Fibonacci, and if you divide that by that and this gets you that, and 83 years ago on this date this happened, they're like, it's a lot for people to process. So my World Cup book is so clean and clear that anybody who doesn't know what gematria is still going to acknowledge what I've found. They don't have to understand gematria, although I've given them an insight into it, like pretty much before I go deep into the book. They're going to see the connections where it doesn't actually need gematria. So we've got to be very wary of thinking everybody knows everything we know. They don't. 99% of the world don't know about gematria, or that professional sports are perhaps coded, or that angels and demons perhaps exist. They might be open to 9/11 being an inside job. They might have doubts about coronavirus. Right? They might think that politics is corrupt. They'll be open to those things. But when you start going really deep into what we do, they're going to be lost, and they'll either get angry at you or they'll laugh at you. Who's winning the golden ball? What do you mean by the golden ball? The golden ball? That was Messi, wasn't it? What's Philip and Liz doing now? It depends whether you believe they died or not. It's hard to say. I can only record what they say. It's funny you asked about Elizabeth and Philip, as I have 73 in the live and 21 likes. And they were married for 73 years, and Elizabeth was 21 when she got married. 73 plus 21 is 94, and Philip died on 9/4. It's very interesting you asked me that. Quick question. Do you still have a religious perspective to life despite your gematria research? I'm new to your channel, so I'm not trying to condemn. Absolutely, David. I have this next to me every time I go live, my book of Revelation. I believe, and if you're new, I guess I'll just repeat myself. I believe that Jesus Christ sacrificed himself for our sins. I believe in the Holy Trinity, that God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit is one. I believe in Satan. I believe that we're living out Revelation. And that is far more important to me than who wins a football tournament or a basketball game or who's the next president of the United States. I can code that stuff at a high level. But I'm at a point where I've said before, if the world really goes to shit, I'll be fine as long as I have this and my faith. So yeah, gematria has led me to God. And I think God communicates with me through numbers, through the syncs that I have in my life. And I'm forever grateful for this knowledge. I used to use it for selfish purposes, to increase my ego and win a lot of money. Now I don't bet. My ego's been tamed, only comes out when triggered. And I just have so much faith that God wins. He won. He's won. He won the war in heaven, and he'll win the war on earth, and Satan will burn in hell. Have you seen seen what happened recently with the Brighton player, or is it Newcastle player? No, Dan Burn. Oh, his last name's Burn. Okay, like burn in hell. And then you've got this Newcastle fan who attempts to wrestle Dan Burn's shirt off a child. All right. This was on Boxing Day. Leicester, who are known as the Foxes, Fox in Pythagorean numerology is 666. So you've got this bald, fat football fan trying to wrestle a shirt off an 11-year-old. It always seems to be 11 with these young fans. And it was Burn's shirt. I don't know why you would want that guy's shirt. If I had that shirt, I would burn it. Big, lanky, mediocre fullback, I think he is. And he wears number 33. So you've got this 11-year-old fighting this grown man for a football jersey that's number 33. So you learn this knowledge, you know that is just, that kid and that adult are involved in that. They know what we're going on. Or on the other hand, we live in a world where man is being completely used. And it was somewhat organic to them, but they were being used for this ritual to play out with the 33. Something I'll never know. But Dan Burn, like Burn in Hell, number 33, the 11-year-old, 11 and 33 are master numbers. And all it does, you read an article like that, and it's just after the World Cup final finished 3-3, and Argentina have now won 3 World Cup finals and lost 3 World Cup finals against France, whose dialing code's plus 33. It's just comical at this point. But you read the article, and all that does, reading it, is triggers anger. Disgraceful Newcastle fan attempts to wrestle Dan Burn's shirt off child. This is why I don't read newspapers or why I don't own a TV, because it's toxic. It's just, full right, order out of chaos. It's like, and I'm a little bit past coding that stuff as well. We know this reality is coded. Sometimes I'll do it. I find it interesting occasionally. I find it somewhat funny. But got to go a bit deeper with this knowledge than just coding things like that, or rappers' deaths, all right, or CNN headlines. Satan's fine with you doing that. All right? He almost knows that whatever you present to your friends and family who are unaware of the knowledge, you're just going to dismiss it anyway. When you talk about the book of Revelation or the Bible, and you show everyone how the world is playing out as it says in the book, they can definitely say it's coincidence, but I'm just trying to make my work more undeniable than anybody else's, and not in a way for ego or to be the best. I want to do it in a way where I present my work like my books, where you're like, geez, everything he's typed in there, I can check myself and see it to be true. I don't throw around opinions, or I rarely do. I like to be like, this is what it is. That World Cup final finished 3-3 after extra time and 4-2 on penalties. All the numbers I've been talking about, 33 and 42, is there. Check it out. So, do you believe in death? The vessel, yes. The spirit, no. Spirit never dies. The vessel dies, absolutely. Or the avatar. I can tell by your eyes that you work for the Lord of Israel. I appreciate that. The eyes never lie. I think the eyes, I've always loved eyes, especially girls' eyes. Like Kenya's eyes are so beautiful. Like, I love eyes. It's definitely a window to the soul, the eyes. I figured something out with the 20 and death a few times too. It's massive with death, 20, and gematria, but I don't know. When it comes to the calculator, this 36 ciphers, the World Cup, what a joke. Wait for the book. the beautiful thing about the book, there's at least 50 people that have emailed me asking. So I know there's people wanting to read it. I know pretty much, I'm hoping everyone from my website gets hold of it. In the past, I've given away my books for free, which was so nice of me for the work I put in. I gave away my Kobe Bryant Decoded book and my Queen Elizabeth Decoded book. So many hours of work, I gave them away, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I'm glad that I did somewhat. This one, no. I would recommend this. This is just a crazy good deal, and I did it whilst I was with Kenya in the car. For those new to my channel or you're not on my website, my Kobe Bryant book, my Queen Elizabeth book, and my World Cup book, I'm literally going to give you 3 books for $16 for John 3:16. It's like next to nothing. Because if you read all 3 of them, you'll see how everything is connected, like unbelievably connected. And I would recommend probably going from the Kobe book to the Queen book to the World Cup book, and you'll see how from 2020 to that World Cup final, how it's all connected. I could just throw all 3 into one book, but it'd become too much. I think that's an unbelievable deal. Like, I literally went out to a place called Chubby Noodle yesterday. I got some noodles that cost me like over $15 just for a plate of noodles. You know what I mean? Delicious though. Unbelievable, these noodles. And actually, by getting those noodles, it's inspired me to buy a big wok and just buy noodles, loads of fresh vegetables, get some different pastes, make my own fresh food like that, because it's absolutely delicious. And I'm done now. Well, once I'm done with the food in here, I'm done with pretty much anything that goes in an oven. I threw away my microwave. I didn't throw it away. It's in storage. I'll give it to somebody. And I'm not going to be putting stuff in oven now, like chicken wings and potato wedges and just throwing it in. No, I'm not doing that anymore. Hello, Joseph. I think diet's so crucial. So I'm definitely going to make big improvements with that. Guys, check out Joseph's YouTube channel. If you're new to me, you'll like his. It's Joseph Aquaviva 2222. Yeah, microwave's terrible. So much radiation in it. I hardly ever used it. It was maybe once every 2 weeks to heat up like a lasagna or something, but I never really used it. It wasn't like this people. I was never a guy who would buy microwavable meals for 99p. Notice how they do things like 99p or the 99-cent store. There's energy with these numbers. 199. Now I know how big 199 is, and now it's the 46 prime, and 4 6s is 66.6%. I remember asking my mum, I was like, Mum, why is it 99p? Why is it these silly prices? Why don't they just round everything up? Why don't they round it up? 61p, just make it 60. Adam, you overthink sometimes. That's where I'd have a smart mouth and go, maybe you underthink sometimes. Adam! Okay, Mum, sorry. Big old mouth on me. I told you I got kicked out of numerous classes for asking too many questions to the teachers. Why are we even doing this? What's the point? They could never give me an answer. Gas stove is the best, everyone. This shocking oven here, that's not mine, is built-in, and it's electric. And I think this oven is older than me, and I'm 36. So I was like, should I get a new oven? Do I really cook that much? So my friend Andy said, just buy this little electric, like 2 little hobs, and cook on that. It's like about $30 or something. My bro, Red Bull Monkeys, told me to invest in a slow cooker. I think that's a good idea. Again, that's only about $30, $40 or whatever. The Xbox monthly membership fee, $9.99. What about the WWE Network for just $9.99? Do you remember that? They would constantly advertise the WWE Network for $9.99. that satanic industry of wrestling. $9.99. People would argue, well, psychologically, by saying $9.99, it doesn't look as expensive as $10, or $99 doesn't seem as expensive as $100 because it's 2 digits instead of 3. People can justify everything. Pretty much. I want to be at a point where they read something and of my work and go, oh, geez, okay. It's a very nice feeling, and this is not from a jerk perspective. It's a very, very nice feeling when you silence somebody with knowledge. Not arguing with them, but where you say something so profound, and I've done it so many times at this point, so profound that they just go, and they just freeze. They've just frozen. They're not angry or emotional or upset or anything. They're just like, oh, say that again. I've done it with so many people now, and they're like, wow. That's a nice reaction to get. And again, but it's not for the ego. It doesn't make me go, yes, I'm really good at this. I know I am. So I don't need that ego boost. But I still find it really difficult. Illusion about to microwave HP sauce. I think I've only had HP sauce once since I got back from England. There's not many things that go with it out here. Know what I mean? There's not many things that go with it. But it's still there. So anyway, I was saying that I still find it very difficult when people ask me what I do for a living. It's very easy for me to just say I'm a coach. Most of the time I will just say I'm a coach. Oh, okay, nice. Nobody cares. They might say, what do you coach? Now I'll tell them. Then it's done. As soon as I say I have a website, a million questions. What do you do? What content do you create? How much people are members? How much do you make? Do you recommend working online? Like, million questions. What is it you do? What are people paying you for? It's like, that's the worst one. So you got a website? What do you do? Oh, it's difficult. It's very difficult to describe. I'm open to it. What is it? You web developer? Well, I work with numbers. Oh, so do I. I'm an engineer. Okay. Are you? No. So what do you mean you're good with numbers? Are you sure? I know. Are you sure you want to hear this? Because it might annoy you. You might get a bit fed up with what I'm about to say. Yeah, go on. What is it? Well, I use numbers to basically predict where the world's going. Oh, so can you tell me winning lottery numbers then? If I hear that again, I think I might just walk away from that person. No, I can't. No, I can't. All right, so what exactly do you do? And then I explain what I do. Well, I have a YouTube channel and I predict sports and who's going to be the next presidents, and I decode history and crypto if I want to. It's basically, I use these numbers and it's led me to God. Some people go, oh, nice. Other people go, God. You remember that conversation? I'll have to bring up this flashback. I was in the bar and it was the second time I met Kenya. And I went to go get the bill. And that guy came up to me. He started telling me that his girlfriend was attracted to me, which was weird. And then he said, Did you bet on the game? Because I can't remember what it was. It was an NFL game. I called it bang on. I think I may even got the score right. And I said, no, but well, what about you? I said, yeah, well, I had this team to cover. They lost, but they covered. I was like, oh, okay. I said the other team would win. I thought you didn't bet. I don't. So why did you pick a team then if you don't bet? Oh, it's a long story. What do you mean? I have a website and I code sports, and my hit rate's really high, and this is why. So if you look at the score, and I went really quick, if you look at the score, you see this, this, and this. If you notice at halftime, the score was this, and now you see the records, it's this, this, and this. So that's why I said that to him. Wow, geez, oh my goodness, how did you do that? Are you like superhuman? Nah, I'm good with numbers. So where's the world going then? I think there'll be an economic crash next year, maybe World War III, maybe another virus. Okay, well, anyone can predict that. I was like, yeah, but the big thing for me is this knowledge has led me to God, the Almighty. Then he got aggressive with me. I think I've told you this story. He got aggressive. You've just ruined everything you've just said by saying God's real. I said, why? Because it's bullshit. I said, why are you getting angry then? And his girlfriend was smiling. So why are you angry then if you don't exist? Why is it bothering you so much? Oh, can you just go away now? I said, yeah, that's fine. So don't really like talking about what I do to people who don't know what I do. It's such a pain in the ass describing it, to be honest. Search for Bible decodes on YouTube, very interesting. Okay, I watched a lot of biblical decodes. Gematria is so big with the Torah, it's so big with the Bible. It's an amazing language, is numbers. It's literally a language, just like symbols are a language that the occult use. I was talking to a demon. Not a demon, I would say a lost soul. It was a lost soul who, again, he's at the bar, he's got his bet on, he's got his alcohol, he was very drunk, he's watching his sport, he's won a bit of cash, he's on holiday, and then somebody's killed his buzz by bringing up God. Just killed his buzz. And the fact that that did kill his buzz shows you the power of God. Shows you the power of God. It's like maybe deep within him, he does have, I do believe we all have the Holy Spirit within us. I think something triggered that. And maybe, like you said, that demon within us, we all probably have the demon within us as well, didn't like it and reacted. Just like I've told you, like an exorcism, throw the holy water over the demon that's possessed the human. So I basically threw a bit of holy water on that boy, and he snapped. Usually they only possess weak vessels when they want to attack a strong vessel. That's when you see the movies, that's usually how it operates. Usually. But yeah, I do believe that is what happens. A lot of people prey on the weak, don't they? Bullies prey on the weak. Rapists prey on the so-called weak. I don't like that. Vulnerable. Like, if they're in a bar, they'll probably be looking for the most drunk girl, the one who's by herself. People do prey on the vulnerable, but I do still think that demons can possess strong people, but there's a fear element to it. There's a fear element. So demons do manipulate lost souls, I would say, but we don't know. I think so, though. Zach Hubbard has an extreme hatred towards God. Zach Hubbard's lost. His whole world's going to crash down in a year or so, or less. The community has grown. We should all be somewhat grateful to him. But then you move on from that. You know what I mean? You can be grateful to somebody and then you just outgrow that person. You can be grateful to an ex that you had. It doesn't mean you have to be completely in love with them still or acknowledge them every time you do something good in your life. Zach Hubbard is self-sabotaging himself. The decent coders in the community, there's a lot of us now, all see through him. And it's almost like he's bipolar, without being mean, because this is where I stand on him now. And I'll be honest, I'll be very honest where I stand on him. I think he's bipolar. No, I'll be honest what I think, because again, none of us know. Maybe he doesn't even know. I think he's bipolar, genuinely bipolar. So from what I've heard about this guy, if you ever meet him in person, physically in person, or speak to him on the phone like I have a couple of times, he is the most soft-spoken guy that you'll come across. Won't give you eye contact, soft-spoken, very respectful, doesn't talk over you, almost seems shy. Put him behind the screen when he's on his show, he becomes some demon. It's like something takes over him. I think there is an element of him that does care about people waking up, a little element. I think this guy's bipolar. I think there's two of him. I think there's two Hubbards in the sense of what's going on in his head. So I think there's a sign of him that wants to help. He's really frustrated that he's been doing this for so long and not enough people still recognize what's going on. I don't think he's that intelligent. I think he portrays himself to be extremely intelligent. I believe he's good with numbers, but he's emotionally weak. His emotional intelligence is 1 out of 10. So now he's just self-sabotaging. Anyone who gets close to him, he destroys. Anyone who, like me, who's got to a different level of coding, he tries to bring down. Anybody who wants to work with him and has great ideas, right as they're about to put it all together, he smashes them down. So there's now a lot of us doing this, a lot of really good coders, people with their own channels and Patreons and websites. Years ago, it was pretty much him. If you wanted to know more about gematria, you go to him. It was your only option. It was like the one restaurant in your town. Now there's restaurants all over that are selling good food. And he's like, wait, why am I losing all these Patreons? Wait, that illusion he learned from me. He was watching my stuff 3 years ago. How's he getting my Patreons? Because I've outgrown you. Because I believe in God. Because I'm not a fraud. Because I don't hate homosexuals. Because I'm not racist. Because I talk a lot of sense. Because I genuinely care about people. All right? That's why people support me. And they're leaving you because you're self-sabotaging yourself. I have given you the benefit of the doubt multiple times because I'm like, we're two of the best, or you're the most well-known. Let's work together. And you self-sabotage that. I don't understand how you would do that. I don't think he's an agent. People who say he's an agent, he's not an agent. I think he self-sabotages. But I don't think he's an agent. I think he's a person who is a minimalist, but he still loves to have money in his bank. So I don't think he's obsessed with money, but he's obsessed with the thought of having money. He's not obsessed with what he's going to do with it. And that's what I think of him. I think there's somewhat of a nice person somewhere hidden within that guy. But he self-sabotages himself. So, and he hates God, which is not going to help him grow. Manly P. Hall is where Zach claims to have got on his cipher, and it's Bacon's. He said bacon equals 33. I know Aquarius too loves that cipher. I've told you I'm not a huge fan of the Gematrinator. It serves its purpose. It definitely helps. It's the best tool for connecting letters with numbers, 100%. It can be a really valuable tool, but I think it's also a tool that puts off people as well. Wouldn't it be just so amazing? Wouldn't it be so incredible if the Gematrinator calculator had one cipher? Do you know how amazing that would be if it had one cipher? Like literally every word in the world had a numerical value and it was one cipher, not 36. And I'm sure you could even create more if you wanted to. You know what I mean? You could create more of them. I've said for a while now, to really go to the next level of this knowledge, I'm not even going to say gematria, because gematria is one element of decoding the reality that we're living in. It's one element. And it took me a while to realize that. I was like, I didn't really know what gematria was. But gematria is literally letters and numbers, the numerical value of letters. That's it. Astrology is not gematria. Date durations is not gematria. Connecting patterns, historical patterns, is not gematria. Gematria is literally that calculator. It's one tool of many. You need gematria, you need numerology, you need date durations, you need symbolism, you need understanding of biblical scripture. You need to have that gift of discernment, just the ability to acknowledge patterns. It isn't just gematria. That's one part of it. 36, a suspicious number. Yeah, well, 666 is the 36 triangular number. It is. 6 times 6 is 36. The book of Revelation is the 66th and final book of the Bible, which is about the end times. A little wordplay never hurts. No, it's a nice tool, but it's not the be-all, end-all. It's like somebody emailed me yesterday. I'm not going to say their name. And they said, somebody called me out because my name's 201. I'm like, when you hear people doing that, you know that they are the most mediocre decoders. All right, what about the other 35 numbers then? The other 35 ciphers? What about those ones? Well, because your name's 201 and Sumerian, you're a Jesuit. So people coding like that are going nowhere with the knowledge. There's certain elements where you can go, right, wait. Ignatius of Loyola founded the Society of Jesus. His name's 201. Catherine the Great saved 201 Jesuits. The first openly Jesuit pope is Jorge Maria Bergoglio. His name equals 201. The Jesuit order equals 201. Jorge Maria Bergoglio resided in suite 201 when he became the pope. You start going, all right, now there is some significance to it. But when you're just getting some random guy and saying your name's 201 or 56 or your last name's 56 or your YouTube name is 33. What about the other 35 ciphers? Give me more. So, okay, you're saying the illusion's this number. Give me more. Or is that it? That's all you've got. So that's what I'm saying. That calculator, for people who are not very good at this, will try and use it against people. It's got to have multiple connections for that number to mean anything. Like I just gave you with the 201. You can clearly see 201 is relevant with the Jesuit order because I gave you about 11 different examples. And then you know that when it comes to the US presidents, they become the president on the 20th of January, which is 201. Man went to the moon on the 201st day of the year. Brady threw for 201 yards, Super Bowl 55. And then went to the White House, didn't he, with the Bucks, which was on the 201st day of the year, which is Brady's wife's birthday, the 201st day of the year. So you can start doing all of that. You see France and Argentina got to the World Cup final. They both had a 2-0-1 record in the group. Messi stayed at room 201. Why did they tell us? Why did they tell us in the media the room number of Messi? Number one, they didn't even have to tell us that he was staying by himself. But they had to tell you it was in room 201B. Why? Ask yourself why they do that. Yeah, George Perry Floyd equals 201 as well. It's a made-up name. Pope lives in Santa Martha's house 201. He did. I'm not sure he's still there. But that's where he resided at the beginning. I'm not sure he's still there. So, anyway, people were getting worried about me. If I don't go live for a few days, they think there's something wrong with me. I'm fine. Not being great health-wise, but the book will be ready tomorrow. Those 40, 50 people who've asked for it, will get it tomorrow. I'll make sure I get everything done tonight or by the morning. And then all you do, if you want it, pretty much everyone in the world, in the Western world, has PayPal. That's just how you send me it. And I've told you, I ain't going to get rich from this book. But it's going to be an unbelievable book. That should be in libraries all over the world, but it won't ever be. Unfortunately. Library. Hey, Sebastian, how you doing? How you doing? There's a reason why the mark of the beast is 666. Angel number 666 means to refocus, to pay close attention. If anyone else sees the number 666 in their life, they need to watch out. 666 is also the number of a man. Just by seeing it, I don't think you have to worry. I saw so many 666s in this World Cup. I'm just aware of the code. It's the number of a man as well. You have to remember that. It's the number of the beast. It's the number of a man. God made us on the sixth day. So, recovery 666, resetting 666. They're all ciphers I don't use. My name in Chaldean is 102, reverse of their 201. Well, 9/11, that whole event of 9/11 lasted 102 minutes. But why 3 6s? Why not 1 or 6? I think it just emphasizes just how important that number is. We say angel numbers, triple digits and all of that. There's got to be a reason why coronavirus was declared a global pandemic exactly 222 months after 9/11. Exact. 222. An order out of chaos equals 222. And Luke Harring's going to buy it. I appreciate that. You'll really like it. The only issue is if you want to print it and you don't own a printer, there's a lot of pages. But again, I don't know how much it's going to cost you. It depends on where you are in the world. It's next to nothing here in Mexico for me to print it, like barely anything. But I would recommend printing it and laminating it and having it as a physical copy and online. It's what I'm doing, but it's up to you. That's up to you. Do me this favor right now, just out of interest, because I've got to go soon because I'm meeting Kenya. Just out of interest, if you do want the book, the FIFA book or the 3 for 16, drop me an email like now so I can get an awareness of the demand of the people, at least in the chat. I know there is a demand. If you want it, don't send me any money yet because it's not done. Do that tomorrow. But if you are interested, just email. It's in the description, aedders11@gmail.com. This time I'm actually going to mark down exactly how many people purchase it. So let me know so I can set aside a few hours tomorrow because I've got to email everybody the PDF. So do me that favor so I can get an insight that it's definitely interest. I don't want to just sell 100 copies of this or 150. Again, most of my money goes to taking Kenya out. I don't really do much else. But I don't really want to just put all that work in for like 50 or 100 people to pay me $7. It'll be a little bit frustrating for how much work I've put in. So yeah, I know not all of you on my website, but you still support my work. This will be an opportunity where you can support my work and me, but also get an incredible book, which will, if you want a code, you're going to learn so much because the numbers I present in that are going to be used for years to come. for years to come. It's the same numbers that keep getting repeated over and over and over again. For Melian, then, if you want a copy, brother, just email me. It's in the description. Mate, I've been on your site for 2 weeks and I still haven't let Satan tempt me into bet, and that's incredible. It is a test. Life's a test, but not gambling when somebody's putting out solid D codes and consistently good T codes that win. Do you know how much of a gift it is that I ain't gambling when I have this gift to Code Sports? I have this unbelievable gift for figuring out who's going to win a game in every sport. And I don't gamble because I see the spiritual element to it and not just the financial element to it. I know we need money in this world. I've said it since I began this journey. You need money in this satanic system until it gets to the point where it's like mark of the beast and you can't buy or sell, Revelation 13:17. It's funny how Messi moved to Barcelona at age 13 and then made his debut at age 17, isn't it, Messi? Revelation 13:17 is literally all about not being able to buy and sell unless you've got the mark of the beast. 13 plus 17 is 30, which is Messi's number at Paris Saint-Germain. You'll see why they have the jersey numbers that they have. It's not random why Messi's 30 or 10 for Argentina. It's just not. It's not random why Brady's number 12 and Aaron Rodgers is number 12, two of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. It's not random that Gretzky, greatest ever hockey player, wore 99, which is 9 times 11. You'll just start seeing it all. You'll see the world in a different light, and that is unbelievable. That's the best thing of this knowledge, is that you can literally flip your worldviews upside down. And at the beginning, it's scary and it's sad and it's depressing. Once you get through that, it's liberating, it's beautiful, and you have no fear. It's a real journey. I want people to go through the journey I've gone through. It ain't smooth sailing. All right? A few waves on the boat, baby. But that ultimate destination is just glorious. But it requires a lot of patience and a lot of sacrifice in regards to the things that you once loved, that you now give up. Like, I've given up professional sports, I've given up gambling, I've given up television, I've given up movies. The list goes on. Given up friends. So to get to a really high level with this, you can't be in the middle. You can't be Malcolm in the middle. You know, you can't dip your feet into this knowledge if you want to go to the next level. You can't dip your feet in, or I'm a little bit curious about it. All right, it's fine. But if that's where you stay, you ain't going to grow with the knowledge. You have to be all in, but you also have to be of the world and not be in love with the world. Told you, I go out for my dinners with Kenya. When I'm with her, I completely shut off about numbers and anything. So I enjoy my sunsets and all of that. Still play my piano. Don't hate the world, but a lot of the things I used to love, I now really will not give any of my energy to them. Believe your AKA Goodyear, AKA One Small Step for Man, One Giant Leap Forward, Great Leap, Year, Mao Zedong, Great Leap Forward, excellent. 6079 Smith, much love. Brady loses to the Panthers, I don't know, I haven't looked. Hey, Glenn. Stream tonight, if you're referring to me, no, I've got to go in a moment. Wow, it's 4:36. There is so many more things to do. I didn't watch one World Cup game. I didn't watch one World Cup game. And I only ever watched one Euro game. Portugal, Belgium, in a bar full of about 30 TVs. Went there for food, not for the game. The game came on after I was there, after I'd ordered my food. So Premier League, just don't care. Like, there were games going on Boxing Day, didn't care. It's always a game going on, always a competition going on, bread and circus. So Rain and Pains just posted a code. He does really good stuff. Really good guy. I'm gonna have a look over that. Yep. Case. Yep. So PSG opened the scoring after 14 minutes, and Pope Francis was born on a day leaving 14 days left in the year. But for PSG to win the next game as well, get to that 47, because the Vatican was founded 211, February 11th, the 47th prime. The Basilica was struck twice by lightning on 211, the 47th prime. Didier Deschamps has 47 points with France in World Cups. France have got to 4 out of the last 7 World Cup finals. France in Gematria is 47. So it looks like PSG, whoever they've got, are going to get to those 47 points. Freemason compass is set at 47 degrees. It's just a big, big number. The next US president's the 47th. Independence Day is on a date that can move in 4/7, the 4th of July. Please say hi to Kenya for me. Absolutely divine. I think she's waiting on me to call her. Thomas Lockwood, Beast equals 47, Vatican equals 47, Francis equals 47. 47 has that direct connection with 15. 47 is the 15th prime number. Really big number. That's why Liz Truss resigned exactly 15 weeks after Boris Johnson did. The Illuminati founded on a date that can be written 1/5, like 15. So what I'm probably going to do, I've had a little bit of a break. I'll probably start doing a bit more on my website, probably Friday. I was going to go to Sunday, probably Friday I'll start doing some more stuff. Thanks to everyone on my website who's been leaving comments or codes or positive messages to everybody. I haven't gone through them, but I'm almost certain that's what you've been doing. Thank you to Sideman. I know he did an amazing code for Fulham to beat Brentford, and they won 3-0. I saw that one. I saw that code. That was great. Thank you for doing that. And again, when you are on my website, share anything. Share whatever you want. As long as you're not going out your way to provoke people intentionally, share your codes, share your finds. Don't be afraid if it misses. I ain't going to judge you. I don't think anyone should judge you. If somebody takes your pick or your finds, they obviously appreciate your code. If it misses, it misses. So put it out there. Try things. I have no issue with that. I don't feel like, oh no, this guy posted a code and it missed and that's going to affect me. No. You post your information, share what you want to share. Anybody wants to use that information and gamble on it or learn from it, let them. So share. I know I probably overdo it with what I post, but I have that burning desire to share knowledge with people. So keep doing that, guys. Share your videos. There might be one guy who goes, why is he sharing this? I don't believe in this. Ignore that person. There's no need to react. There might be 5 people that love the video that you shared. The last World Cup was filled with 8s, yes. Yes, that's why Mbappe ended with 8 goals. It's a Golden Boot winner. Mate, I wish your site had a timeline for us to make our own posts like Free to Find Truth. Yeah, I get that. But best thing you can do is leave your comment. People can see it. Definitely read all the comments, guys. If you sign into my website daily and there's 3 posts, got to read the comments. Not just my posts, read the comments. There's a lot of gold there. Just read them. You don't have to sign in every minute of the day, but you're going to have days where you miss a code or where you've hit a code or whatever it is. It's time difference. There's people all around the world on the website. Maybe I'm close to 400. I should get there, but I don't know. It don't matter. As long as I stay where I am, I'm good. Well, I can keep doing what I'm doing. Right, I better go. But the book's 95% done. I have to proofread it, like I said, play around with the layout, add some images, make it a PDF, check the punctuation. If there is an odd error, guys, I really won't have an issue with anybody emailing me and saying, hey, Illusion, page 67, you spelt this word wrong. You've put an exclamation mark instead of a question mark. Tell me. I'll edit it. I'll edit it. I don't mind you correcting me. That's absolutely fine. You don't have to go out of your way to be looking for them, though, because that might distract you from enjoying it when you're looking for faults. But if you come across one organically, just email me and say, hey, you need to change that. I think you put this word instead of that word. Right. Shower time for me. Thank you, all of you, for everything. Who's winning the Super Bowl? Brady's not, I don't think. 73 is too big with the Bible for him to come off that, in my opinion. I don't think Brady's getting there. Said that at the beginning. If he somehow comes back and wins it, it might be the thing that finally maybe wakes up more people. If the 45-year-old comes back, and they're currently, 7-8. If you think Brady's going to win it, just bet on him to win his next 2 games, if that's what you think, and then take it from there. So he has to win his next 2. And they'll probably want him there, won't they? Because there's still that energy harvesting with Brady. And people are going to tune in and watch him, not for the money, for the energy of Brady. That's why he's always involved in last-second comebacks or overtime wins. So I don't know who the Bucs have got the last 2 games. Just from that itself, they'll probably win them. I hope they don't, because I can't stand that demon Brady. Right. Thank you, guys. Much love. Again, if you want the book, let me know. So I can only send it out to people who contact me and let me know. I'm not just going to know that you want it. All right. Hope you make a video hammering the fake New Year celebrations. I'll look into it for you, Sebastian. I'll look into it for sure. Celebrating death, basically. The winter is so connected to death. But anyway, yeah, I'll look into that. All right. Thank you. Thanks for your support. Much love to all of you. I'm off to go jump in the shower. Bye, guys. Thank you. Take care. And maybe I'll go live tomorrow. Let you all know it's fully done. Bye-bye.